Hey crew, it's Pitt, and I'm back with another reaction video. Today we're going to be checking out another brand new artist. This is Hedge, Demons. Let's dig in and see what's up. This is Appalachia Untold.
You've been living paycheck to paycheck. You picked up smoking again, and you ain't had a damn break since only God knows when.
Did he just describe everybody on the planet? I ain't picked up smoking again, but I mean, I don't remember. It's been a very long time since I wasn't living paycheck to paycheck.
And all the bad memories you only seem to recall when the door is locked to your bedroom with the lights and TV on.
Yes, indeed.
You've been down on luck here lately. You don't want to get out of bed. The drugs that you've been taking are tearing you into shreds. So won't you take a look in the mirror and see the caves in your cheeks? The girl I love's on the inside, the body's dead to me. And I know you fight your demons, and you quit getting them chills. But
Hold on, I gotta back that up. I didn't catch that.
you fight your demons, and you quit getting them chills. But giving in ain't a reason, it's just an excuse that you always give.
That is true. We talk a lot about serious issues over here because our serious issues are the real deal, right? We're dealing with addiction. We're dealing with, sounds like an opioid problem, right? Sounds like somebody losing their soul. It might be benzos. Those come in a bottle too, and those will eat you just as fast. It could be Adderall, because that is amphetamines, and it will get you just as bad as the stuff you get off the street. A lot of these things they give you to make you not feel these emotions anymore, or to be able to focus instead of have self-discipline. They're not for your betterment. They're meant to be a stopgap for some particular cases, because some people need chemical alteration in order to get back to normal. But some people use them because they make them feel good. I used to be one of those people. If you don't know my story, I have a lot of videos talking about it. I have been through addiction. I've dealt with opioids, and I was really, really fond of the powder. And so I have been through this. I know the shakes and the scratches and the shits, and I know what it's like. And those things are tools that everybody is misusing. Like everybody. And when I say everybody, I never mean everybody. There are people in chronic pain with severe problems that need medicine to be able to function. But when they take that medicine makes them feel normal so that they can actually function. They don't feel high. They don't feel zoomy. They don't feel amped up. They don't feel groggy. They feel normal when they take the medicine. And if you feel normal when you take the medicine, then you need the medicine. But if you feel anything other than normal when you take the medicine, then you are either taking too much or you're taking the wrong stuff. And that's just all there is to that. A lot of our problems we decide to bring on ourselves. I come from a pretty rough childhood, and I spent a lot of time living this, so that I talk on this now because I have been through this. But most of us who are suffering from depression are actually choosing to be depressed. They're literally choosing it because it gives them this this badge that they can walk around with and talk about I'm depressed and that excuses my behavior. And that's not it. When you're really depressed, when you really have depression on you, you don't realize you're in it. Somebody comes up to you and asks you, hey, have you eaten in the last couple of days? Hey, have you taken a bath? When's the last time you changed your clothes? When's the last time you went outside? Because you don't realize that you're not doing these things. Then when you start coming out of depression, you still have the realization that that's there, but you know that this is what you're supposed to be doing. And sometimes you can use medicine to help you bridge the gap between those two. But most of the time, it's up to you to quit choosing to go back and pick this thing up. Because if you have been suffering, right? If you're my age, let's go with my age, 46 years old, and you go back to when you were a child, say 7 or 8, and you got your ass beat to where you were bleeding, right? If you continuously at my age go back to that, not so that you can be like, man, that was terrible. I never should have had to have that happen to me. I never should have had to go through that. Someone should have been there to take care of me. And to work yourself through those emotions. If that's not what you're doing, but you're going back and you're saying, I remember I got beat, and so I'm going to be bitter. And like, that's not a conscious decision, but that is the decision that you're making. When you go back and you just kick the dog because the dog's there. Like, that's a terrible thing to do. You should absolutely go back and visit that thing and sit in the unfairness and the pain and the hurt and the terribleness of it, because it was terrible. And then let that shit go. Don't ever go back and visit it again. And that's hard to do because you're in the habit of it. You're in the habit of going back and checking this thing, and it makes you sad, so you get sympathy, and that feeds your endorphins, and there's this whole process involved. But every time you catch yourself thinking about that thing, from now on, you have to check yourself. You have to say, no, we're done with that, and let it go. And intentionally do something that makes you happy. Text someone you love. Hey, love you. Thinking about you. Hey, Mom. Hey, Dad. Something. Just something that'll release them endorphins in a different way. Instead of getting endorphins because you're sad and somebody's sympathetic towards you, get endorphins by giving some love somewhere. It really does work. It really does help you change. I'm not telling you who you got to tell that to. I'm not telling you what to tell them. Something that triggers them endorphins for you, that makes you happy. Pick up a guitar and play for a minute. Do something that triggers them endorphins other than going back to that sad thing or that mad thing or whatever that thing is that you keep going back to. Because every time that you're going back to this thing that makes you depressed, after you're aware that it does, you're choosing that. You're literally saying, I want this in my life, if you were still doing that. And in her situation, this ain't him, right? This is her, and I'm never attacking an artist, right? It's a realization that you have to make yourself, though. You can't force that on somebody else. Like, it sucks to watch somebody doing this. And most of the time, like, even if I'm talking to someone face to face like this, they will not listen to me. If people will go to you for advice on things and then not listen when you tell them, it's crazy. All right, this is a beautiful song, and I'm loving it, right? Because he's expressing his hurt behind what she is doing. This is talking about the big emotions. There's things that make us sad or mad. This is a healthy response to that. And the scenery is beautiful. Back it up and let it get a solo in.
You've been so caught up on running, won't be long till nothing's left. The angel that used to be present is hanging on by a thread. Oh, but time catches up, babe. You are starting to slow down. Your patches have been leaking and the truth is coming out. And I know you fight your demons and you quit getting them chills. And giving in ain't a reason, it's just an excuse that you always give. And I know you still remember who you used to be. It seems like you're forgetting what sober really means. And deep down I know
yes, indeed.
who you used to be. It seems like you're forgetting what sober really means. And deep down I know you want to clean up your misery. Living high won't solve you. Only you can get yourself off your knees.
Hey, yes, indeed. This is a great song, right? I love this.
There's now a card that sits on the nightstand with your name on the front page. Your urges finally broke even. You're at your final resting place.
And that is horribly sad. I often say things that are quite controversial, right? When I say that addiction is not a disease, that it is a choice, that's controversial because the medical establishment does not say that. And that is my opinion. I am not a medical doctor, but I am somebody who has been through addiction and has lived with addiction and people who are addicted my entire life. I have lost more people to dope than I care to remember. I have lost more people to the game than I care to think about. So when I talk about these things, I am not just pulling things out of my ass. I have so many of my friends that did not just wake up one day because they lost the battle. Here's another one of those controversial things that I talk about is you cannot battle addiction. Let's go ahead and get, I don't know why my mic transitions lower, but it does. So I try to stay over there as long as possible. Anyway, you don't battle addiction. That is not a fight that you can win. Right? It is a fight that you have to win. Right? So you don't fight it. You beat it. Right? And that sounds weird, but it's the same as the depression. If you're going back to the addiction, then you're fighting the addiction. But if you beat it, you remove it from your life. And it's a subtle difference right there, but it's a mindset difference. When it's no longer that option in your mind, you have beat the addiction. I've been there, right? And it's not for everybody. Like, everybody has their own path and their own journey and their own way to get clean and their own way to get sober and their own decisions to make about their own lives. That's why we're here. But if you can get it in your mind, if you're fighting this battle that a lot of us have fought, if you're fighting this battle and you can set it in your mind that it is no longer an option, just the same as you have to set in your mind that suicide is no longer an option. It is no longer a consideration for me. This addiction is no longer a consideration for me. Cocaine is no longer in my life. It is not an option anymore. Like, that had to be the thing. You have to beat it. You can't fight it. So when the option comes up, you have to remove that option. Period. The end. You have to trigger them endorphins in a different way. You have to find your endorphin trigger. It's going to be different for everyone. For me, it's my wife and my children. Like, that is enough for me. I put my energy when I think about the other things, when I want to do the other things. That's my endorphin trigger, is my wife and my kids. It may not be that for you. It may be something different for you. It may be a kill and call of duty. I don't know. Everybody's got their own thing that makes them happy in the moment. And you need to find that and trigger that. Now, you want to make it eventually a healthy trigger, right? You want to make it eventually telling someone that you love them, because when they hit you back with that "I love you too," that's an endorphin trigger. And it's much better than a line every time. These substances will consume your soul. They will take everything that makes you away from you. It will take all of your sympathy and empathy. It will take all of your kindness and humanity, and it will drain it from you. You will have no problem stealing from your mom. You will have no problem beating your brother down. You will have no problem doing any dirty thing that you have to do for this substance. You have to beat it. You have to get it in your mind that that shit is no longer the option for you. I know that that's tough. I have done it. Are you tough or not? Like, I guarantee you running a game, right? If you out there and you doing your thing, I guarantee you're out there talking about how tough you are. Are you tough? Because it's much tougher to not than it is to do. It is. It's tougher to not respond to anger than it is to respond. It's tougher to not do the thing that you're addicted to. Are you tough or not? That's some tough love for you. Because that's really what it comes down to. Are you tough or not? Are you willing to fight or not? Because you have to be honest with yourself about that. I can't make that decision for you. I want to. I want to make the decision that yes, you are. But it's up to you. And that's where I'm going to wrap this up. This is great, right? I love these independent artists because they bring us some real shit to talk about. We can talk about how to really resolve some real issues because that's what it takes. I spent a lot of time dealing with the mind. Which side is it on? It's over here. I spent a lot of time dealing with the mind and how it works. I got myself out of a hole through a process that I used for myself. And I put it on the internet for other people to use because I want to help people. That is literally the only reason I do these videos. Right? I get paid, but it ain't much. I promise you that. Like, I think I'm up to $15 a month now for all of my views in over 1,000 videos. It's not about the money. I've had people tell me that I've helped them change their life by telling them the same thing that I'm telling you right now. Change your life today. You can do it today. You are tough enough to do it. You just have to make your mind up that you want to. To the crew, thanks for hanging out. I appreciate every single minute that you are here with me, and I am praying for you every single day. Until next time, I love you. You're perfect, whole, and complete just the way that you are. This has been Pitt's Take. Peace.